What if I told you the calmest man in the room is usually the most dangerous? Not because he shouts, not because he dominates, but because nothing outside him is in control of him. And most people never reach that level. They're basically emotional puppets. One rude comment ruins their whole day. One rejection kills their confidence. One small setback, suddenly they're panicking. They react to everything. Every situation pulls a different emotion out of them. But the ancient Greeks saw life differently. They built a method so powerful it made ordinary men look almost untouchable. To outsiders, they seemed cold, sometimes even strange. And at times, people thought they were completely disconnected from reality. But in truth, they weren't cold. They were just controlled from within. They had mastered something most people never even notice in themselves: inner stillness. And once you understand how they built that stillness, life stops controlling your emotions for you. Chaos still exists, but it doesn't enter you the same way anymore. Today, I'll show you exactly how they did it. Because calm is not personality. It's not luck. It's not nature. It's a system, and it starts with the first principle. Method 1. Separate what you control from what you don't. This idea was at the very core of Epictetus's teaching, and he broke it down in the simplest way possible. Some things are in your control, and some things are not. But here's the problem with most people. They mix the two, and that's where suffering begins. Think about it for a moment. You can't control whether people respect you, but you can control how you carry yourself. You can't control criticism, but you can control whether it shakes you or not. You can't control outcomes, but you can always control the effort you put in. And once you really understand that difference, something shifts inside you, because most people spend their whole lives fighting the wrong battles, trying to control people, trying to control opinions, trying to control timing, luck, outcomes, things that were never in their hands to begin with. But the Stoic moves differently. He refuses that fight, and that's where peace begins. Someone insults him. He doesn't collapse into emotion. A plan fails. He doesn't break down. He adjusts. Life hits him hard. He doesn't panic. He centers himself, because in his mind there's one simple question: why stress over something I was never meant to control? And that one shift alone changes everything. It's what makes a man look unnaturally calm in a chaotic world. While everyone else is reacting, burning emotionally, losing control, he just stays still. And that stillness, it unsettles people because they don't understand it. They've never learned how to let go of what was never theirs in the first place. Method 2. Train yourself to pause before reacting. Most people don't think, they just react. And that instant reaction, that's where weakness lives. The Greeks trained something different. They created space, a small gap between what happens and how they respond. So imagine it like this. An insult comes in. Pause. Bad news arrives. Pause. Anger starts rising. Pause. And in that small moment of stillness, that's where real power is formed. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that you always have the power not to form an immediate opinion about something. And when you really sit with that idea, it changes everything. Because not every situation deserves your emotions. Not every event deserves your energy. Someone disrespects you. Do you really have to explode? Someone ignores you. Do you really have to feel rejected right away? No, but most people do. And that's the trap. Because reaction is often emotional slavery, but response is control. Calm people are not people who feel nothing. They feel everything. They just don't hand the steering wheel over to their emotions. They pause first, they decide second, and that's what makes them seem different. Almost unnatural, because the world is addicted to reacting instantly. So when a man pauses, when he doesn't rush to respond, when he simply stays still for a second longer than expected, he starts to look unusual, even powerful, almost superhuman. Because in a reactive world, the man who pauses is the man who controls himself. Method 3. Practice negative visualization. This sounds dark, but it creates incredible peace. The Greeks would imagine loss before it happened, not to become fearful, but to become unshakable. They would think, what if I lose this money? What if people misunderstand me? What if comfort disappears? By mentally facing discomfort, real discomfort loses its power. Most people are calm only while life is easy. That isn't calm, that's convenience. Real calm survives pressure. When you rehearse hardship in the mind, you stop being surprised by reality, and surprise fuels panic. This is why Stoics looked fearless. They had already visited difficulty internally. So when problems arrived, they were ready. And preparation looks like confidence. Method 4. Stop taking everything personally. This may be the most freeing Greek lesson of all. Most people suffer because they make everything about themselves. Someone is rude, they feel attacked. Someone disagrees, they feel wounded. Someone leaves, they feel unworthy. But often, it isn't about you. It's about their insecurity, their wounds, their chaos. Socrates understood something powerful. An insult only hurts if you agree with it. Read that again. If a fool calls a lion weak, does the lion panic? No, he knows what he is. When you stop taking every opinion personally, you become emotionally bulletproof. And people call that crazy calm, but it's just self-possession. Method 5. Treat obstacles as training. This is where most men break and where Stoics are forged, because anyone can appear calm when life is smooth. But pressure reveals the man. Traffic, failure, delays, disrespect, loss. These are the moments most people resist, and their first instinct is always the same. Why is this happening to me? But the Stoic asks a completely different question. Not, why me? But, how is this training me? And that shift changes everything, because those are two completely different mindsets. One creates victimhood, the other creates strength. One makes life feel like punishment, the other turns life into practice. And suddenly, obstacles stop looking like enemies. They become a gym. Pain becomes a teacher. Difficulty becomes sharpening. Pressure becomes resistance that builds you. And this was one of the Greek secrets. They didn't just endure adversity, they used it. They took what was meant to test them and turned it into something that strengthened them. That's why they looked so composed under pressure, because where other people saw problems, they saw training. And a man who uses pressure to grow becomes very hard to disturb, because life can't threaten what it keeps strengthening. Read that again. Life can't threaten what it strengthens. That is a different level of calm. That's the calm of a man who no longer sees hardship as interruption, but as part of becoming. Method 6. Lower your need for external validation. This one is rare and powerful. Most men are emotionally dependent. They need approval to feel worthy, praise to feel confident, attention to feel alive. That dependence creates anxiety, because now peace depends on others. The Greeks rejected this, especially the Stoics. Your peace must come from character, not applause. If people praise you, stay calm. If they criticize you, stay calm. If they ignore you, stay calm. Because your center isn't outside you, it's within. And when a man stops needing constant validation, he becomes terrifyingly composed, because manipulation stops working and people notice. Method 7. Accept life as it is. This may be the highest Greek method of all. Acceptance, not weakness, not surrender. Acceptance. Reality is already happening. Arguing emotionally with reality only multiplies suffering. Rain falls, people change, plans fail, aging comes, loss comes. This is life. Fight reality and suffer. Work with reality and become free. The Stoics called this loving fate. Amor fati. Love what happens, use what happens, grow through what happens. Imagine how calm a man becomes when he stops demanding life obey him. Almost impossible to shake. And yes, people may think he's crazy because they've never seen peace that deep. Here's what most people misunderstand. Calm is not passive. Calm is disciplined power. It is strength without noise. The Greeks understood this deeply. That's why their wisdom is still alive thousands of years later. Now, if we bring everything together, remember the method, control what is yours. Pause before reacting. Visualize hardship. Take less personally. Use obstacles as training. Need less validation. Accept reality. And if you actually practice these consistently, something strange begins to happen. The things that used to trigger you won't. The things that used to disturb you can't. And slowly, without even noticing it, you change. One day, people will look at you in the middle of chaos, while everything around you is loud and emotional, and you'll still remain still. And they'll wonder, how is he this calm? Is he different or is he crazy? No, he's disciplined. And in a world that runs on emotional chaos, discipline starts to look insane. But that insanity is actually power. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to Above Limits. And remember, a weak man reacts, a strong man responds, and a wise man remains calm while the world loses its mind.